What's good, you people? You know who it is. It's your boy Vince,
Fresh.
and today we're just talking about real estate. Just talking in general about the market, real estate, everything, how you can save, how you can buy your first property, second. So what do you think of the market, man? Seems like prices are just spiking, man.
Yep.
Spiking up.
Especially due to the pandemic.
Mm.
I suppose this guy actually recently he was saying to expect another market crash.
I hope so. I think it will happen.
That's when it would be a good time to buy a house.
Yeah. Did he say when? To expect
Couple years.
Couple years.
So that doesn't really, give us much.
Yeah. Is he following the market close?
Well, he's a tax guy and
Okay.
and real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's his alley. That's more his forte and stuff. But
Cool.
I don't know. The thing is to just wait it out based on what advisors may tell you.
Yeah.
You don't know how long you end up waiting.
That's the thing. It's like when people feel like there's gonna be a crash, because unless you're an expert or someone who's really studying that thing like really closely, there's no way to tell, right? People would say, there's gonna be a crash by the way that like gas prices are going up, I don't know, grocery prices, everything. But things are just keeping them going up. It's just like the stock market. People were saying, there's gonna be a crash, things are going down, but you can never tell.
Well, the stock market, there was definitely a crash or definitely fluctuation, a lot of dips.
Mm-hmm.
So, people get scared on when the stock market dips.
Yeah.
But
Others
some of the best time to get in.
That's the thing. That's
That's where all the opportunity is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when it dips,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you really analyze the market, and that's when you get in, because you're getting in at a lower price.
Yep.
And the market always corrects itself. So if it's selling for 20 and it dips to 10, get in at 10, because more than likely it will reach 20 at some point.
Absolutely.
It might not be tomorrow, might not be next week, might be next year.
Yep.
But at the same time, if you get in at $10 per share,
Yeah.
and you buy a bunch of those, in a year from now, you could be profiting $10 per share
Extra.
on the amount of shares that you bought.
Mm-hmm.
So look at it that way.
For sure.
So with the housing,
But you know what?
Housing appreciates the value. So
True. And I was just gonna say, like, another way to look at it too, like just like for the housing, like there's pre-constructions where you can basically, if you buy the contract and the house hasn't been built yet, that's another way of like seeing it as if like it's a stock or investment, because you're buying it at 500,000. By the time the house get built, it would have appreciated.
Yeah.
You can either sell that contract without you having to move in already, or just hold on to it. But that's
True.
a good way of seeing your money earn some
Yeah.
interest for sure.
pre-construction as well as renovation. So if you buy a house that may not be in the best condition to anyone looking in or looking from the outside.
Yep.
But if you're able to afford it, you buy that house and flip it.
Yeah.
You do like if it's $500,000, just using your figure,
True.
and you put another $200,000 in renovations,
Mm-hmm.
and then you sell it for $1 million.
Oh, that's a good profit.
Then
Good profit.
just make it look real nice for that $200,000 extra that you put into renovations,
Absolutely.
and you got $300,000 in profit.
Mm-hmm.
Just as an example. But yeah.
For sure. But yeah, man. But I think the problem is, how do we go about buying that first house,
Yeah.
Finding the down payment or the deposit for it, because it ain't easy.
Definitely not.
Yeah, especially with like properties being so high. Like if you I'd say like the average properties now is like $1 million or like 800,000 up.
Yeah.
So like 5% of that already is like you're thinking of a good 50,000 down payment.
Yeah, including fees.
And insurance and like
Yeah.
things that are not
So,
but that's why, like, for me, even if I did have the 50 grand, I would still wait it. I would still wait until that crash or that market crash actually happens. And if it doesn't happen 3 years from now, okay, maybe I'll just bite the bullet and get a $1
Yeah,
million
yeah.
crib, you know. But even if I have it now, I mean, there's no rush. True, you're losing when you're paying somebody else's mortgage and stuff, but at the end of the
paying rent.
yeah,
Yeah, you're losing paying rent.
but at the end of the day, like if the way I see it is, if you're renting for like 1,300, you're just losing 15 grand. You know, at the end of the year, it equivalents to like 15,000 that you would have lost or put towards somebody else's mortgage. But that 50 grand, if you had saved it, you can't really put it on a down payment or deposit. So just save whatever it is you can. You know.
Yeah.
But
50,000. No, it depends on the cost of the property you're going for. You know what I
True.
mean? Because 50,000 might be just a scratch on the surface. So, especially no house prices. I was just driving out here. I saw houses starting at $2 million.
Jesus.
So $50,000 down payment is nothing.
Nothing, bro. That's not
Yep.
even, bro. If anything, that would be like a deposit if that property was a like pre-construction, legit.
Yeah.
Because I think for pre-construction, like you have to give 5%, and then 30 days later another 5%, and so on and so forth. But 50 grand, bro, that's nothing. That's nothing.
50
Like, if-
grand would work if the house was
Bro.
like $600,000 maybe. I would, give you a. You'll basically be. You might be paying rent prices if you're able to buy a house that's like $600,000. You can put on 50,000. You could probably get a mortgage that is equivalent to someone's rent.
True.
Roughly depends. It depends. Maybe $2,000 a month, or
Yeah.
in that ballpark. Depending on how you set it up, but
That's the thing. And the way I see it is like if you're gonna buy a house, you want to make it in a way that like your rent or your mortgage, for say, is not more than what you would pay for rent. Like you don't want to pay $2,000 per month, you know? Like you want to be able to still save while you still have your own property. Like so you can save towards either, I don't know, renovation if it's not a new one, or like another property. So because if you're getting paid, let's say $5,000 a month, and then your mortgage is like $2,000, and then you have your other responsibilities, it's like how much are you actually saving? You're basically like, so that's where like the more you can put on that down payment, the better it is for you, at least,
yeah.
because you ain't gotta pay for that home insurance type of thing. And yeah.
But the other thing too is when you're going to get a property, like it's always rational to think about it as you might possibly end up paying 3 times your current rent.
Yeah.
And that's just being like if you're paying like say $1,200, $1,300 for rent. If you're going for a property in this time,
Yeah.
you could possibly end up paying 3 times that.
Easily.
So that's why, like, even going into a mortgage with like a partner or someone, you know what I mean, could work out, because now you could even split.
Yeah, someone you
mortgage.
can trust too. Yeah.
So instead of paying 13 by 3 is 39. So instead of paying 39, you split that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you both could easily pay it off. As both people working. Just saying as an example.
Yeah.
Both people working is a little more than your rent you would have been paying before, but at this point, you're acquiring an asset, which is the house and the land.
Yep.
Whereas with the rent, you were just paying it and not acquiring anything but a bit of shelter. This way, you have an asset, and even if depending on the property you acquire, like say you buy a property that has an area like a basement that you could rent, you already split it with say your partner. You buy a property that has a basement, you could then renovate the basement, or if your basement is already renovated, rent it out. You know what I mean? Set it up so that you'll be able to rent it, and then the rental income you could use that to pay the monthly mortgage.
Right.
So now you even free up more money for yourself and whoever.
Absolutely.
Because it's all about managing your expenses while still, not letting that take control of your life.
Yeah.
You want to still be able to do things, purchase other things, enjoy certain aspects of life. So the more you free up money, You know, the more you set it up so you don't have to worry about certain things.
Legit.
So if you know you have rental income coming in, covering your mortgage, you know you're already sharing it with your partner who I assume you trust and, you know, everything's blessed. And that's not always the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, assuming, then that's another feasible way.
Legit. Or even like if you don't feel comfortable like renting the lower level to somebody else or just having somebody else live there like for good, you can just do Airbnb, you know? Just make sure it looks clean and whoever's gonna rent it have their own privacy. They don't feel like, you know, that you're too much into their business, and then rent it out. You can still make money out of that too, because there's people traveling from out of city, whatever. I know some people who use a room on the upper level for Airbnb.
Yeah, just a room alone.
Yeah,
right?
just a room alone, and it looks neat. Actually, they use the master bedroom so that one person have like the washroom, everything for themselves.
Yeah.
And then
See, that makes sense.
yeah, man, you just gotta make it work, especially now, because
And Airbnb is actually, if you think
Profitable.
about it, versus monthly rent, Airbnb is way more profitable because if you think about it, you're renting a room or a space for minimum $150 a night.
minimum, yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if it's not $150, in the hundreds.
Location
You know what I
too, yeah.
Yeah, so you
Depending
might
where you're
get
located.
$200 a night, $150 a night, $300 a night. That's for one night. If you think about it, multiply that by
Even
30 days. If they rented it for 30 days.
Even if you get 15 days, you're good. Even if you get 15 days.
Yeah, you're getting more than if you charge monthly rent.
More than your mortgage.
Right.
Yeah.
So then you have more
Hopefully.
profit. You have more profit now to play with.
Yeah.
So it's honestly how you break it down. Like initially, like even from my point of view, looking at it, I could see how it would look like a big jump in terms of big expense. But like on things like that, if you don't think long term, you never really take the step. So you really gotta put it in a long term perspective. Because long term, you're profiting way more than if you just sit on here and pay rent. You know what I mean? So it's something to work towards. Is you know I can just wake up today and have a down payment unless you win the lottery or you know you fall into some money. But it's something you gotta work towards. Saving, come up with a saving scheme, and give you a tip here. If you could try this at home, get pieces of paper, and I want you to count from 2 to 200 on each piece of paper. So 2, 4, 6, 8 until you get to 200. And I want you to cut those up into little squares, right? Put it in a jar, and for the next, let me see, 2 months, every day, pull one number. Whatever number you pull, save that amount. If you pull $2, if you pull $4, if you pull $2, save it. If you got e-transfer, and you pull 2, e-transfer $2 to your savings. If you pull $10, you transfer it to your savings. If you don't have a savings in the bank, put it in a jar, something. Start a saving strategy.
Legit.
And you'll see in no time how much money you save. Because you spend so much money foolishly. You could go out today and end up spending $100. $100 easy.
You don't realize it.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
Spend a day or like spend a week going out and buying like Tim Hortons or like buying food out. Before you know it, when you do your like account, your finances at the end of the week, you realize $100 gone, you know?
And food. I know every man gotta eat. But come on. We could also learn to save, to invest. You know what I mean?
For sure. Like even what I would say too is like if you know you're bad at saving, in a sense where like if you put $2 or $200 aside, you're not the type to like have enough discipline to not use it. I would say put it in a bank account where like you really can't. I mean a saving account where you can't
access.
You can't access it, or like I wouldn't say let a family like send it to a family members to hold on to it. Me, one thing I like is like for the pre-constructions, if you choose to do one, the good thing about it is if you don't have the entire money, the fact that you have to pay that 5% every like 30 days or 60 days or so forth, I feel like it's a way of saving. Because once you give it away, you can't really go back to like take back that money, right? You just got to make sure that like at least your paychecks is allowing you to save X amount, that when the time comes, you'll have that amount to like put aside or put towards that deposit. But I like that idea, because if you were to say, you know what, I'm not ready to buy a house, but I want to save 50 grand. Yeah, you seeing that 50 grand or like that 10,000, 15,000 increasing, like by the third year, you might be like, or maybe like, let's say 6 months, you might be like, oh shit, I have a lot of money. No, let me get this. I'll have time to replenish it or like to put it back. But if you were to put that money towards a deposit, it's not there, but you're gonna get that house that you wanted when the time comes. So that's another way of seeing it too. But you just gotta make sure that you don't shoot yourself in the leg. So, because if you can't pay, then you're losing, and it affects you in a bad way too.
Correct.
Yeah. But
This one might be feasible as well. So for people who have life insurance policies, a lot of the times they don't tell you that you could use the cash value generated on your life insurance policy.
yeah.
So just for example, if you had a life insurance policy for say a while and it was able to generate a decent cash value, you could actually even withdraw on your life insurance policy and use that money towards the house.
Yeah.
You know, like certain little things like that insurance companies might not tell you, but at the end of the day, it's your money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're borrowing from yourself. So
Absolutely.
you borrowing it from your life insurance policy is not like mandatory that you pay it back. All that will happen is that when it's time to pay you out, when the insurance policy reaches the maturity date, they will deduct the amount that you withdrew earlier and just give you the difference. You know what I mean? They might pressure you before the policy matures to pay back the amount you borrowed. But I'm just saying, remember, it's your money. So don't let insurance companies bully you. That's all.
Legit. And don't say we told you either, because we're not professional. And yeah,
Just telling you tips and tricks as you go. But
legit.
yeah, inquire about it.
Yeah,
If I'm
man.
wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But inquire about it, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Or if you feel like where you live, the properties are too high, you can always relocate. That's a big thing that would help you get to your end goal easily. Because I know there's certain cities or areas where like properties are still reasonable. Like
Like
Okay.
Texas. Bro,
yeah, this is the second time
Bruh.
you mentioned Texas, bro.
Texas. The houses in Texas
Yeah.
got me confused.
Yeah.
Like,
Is it really that
wait,
low?
am I here?
For real?
Bro, wait, am I here?
I'll look into that, because I really haven't. I haven't looked into that.
Houses in Texas is like
For real?
dream homes.
What's the crime rate
300
over there?
to, huh?
What's the crime rate over there?
I don't know, but
I don't care.
I just hear about the racism. I can live
I
with
mean,
that.
yeah, racism is
You know what I
everywhere.
mean?
Yeah.
If you got something to tell me, that's alright. Keep it to yourself. But
Texas.
Texas.
All right.
Texas looking like it. But cause I mean, you get in Texas, right? You could get a house, a mansion. Let me not say a house.
Yeah.
$400,000, right?
Yeah.
That's US. Okay, which is not even close to how much we would pay to acquire. Yeah, let me run that back.
Here? Well, here we're
Which is
past.
in US, right?
Okay.
Which is, we want to say close to 600,000 Canadian. All right. The type of house you get in Texas for that money, would be worth probably 2 million.
For sure, because
2 million over here,
Yeah,
easy, or
yeah.
even more.
Because technically, if you think about it, you buy it over there, 400 grand. You keep that house, it appreciates. You sell it, you come back here, then you can actually get the house you wanted, right? Easily. US is more than here, so yeah.
Yeah, but it's like,
Yeah.
I just go to say it, dog, is like, depending on where you are in the world, the factors there is income. So, whereas, all right, my example from Barbados. Houses in Barbados, you could probably get a 3-bedroom house. There was one in my neighborhood before I came here selling for like close to $300,000. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom.
Okay.
Right? All right. And that was 300,000 Bajan dollars. if you want approximate, which is 150,000 US, which is 200,000 example Canadian. You can't get that type of house for 200,000 Canadian in Canada. You have to pay for that exact same house. You would have to pay about $1 million in Toronto, unless you go far out, like further out in Canada.
Yeah.
Even then, you're not getting that type of house for that type of that amount of money.
True.
So it's really depending on where you are. So if you're out here in Canada right now trying to, acquire property, still, if you're open-minded, I think you should probably analyze. You could analyze other areas in the world, other countries. You know what I mean? Other farm to live in. You know what I mean? You might want to move.
Absolutely.
There's different things to think about in terms of acquiring a house. Don't just stick to what you know in your neighborhood, and there's so many different places out there.
Sometimes you have to sacrifice too.
Yeah.
So if you have to go further or like move, you can still come back here for vacations, But you ain't gotta stay here and spend that much money just to get something.
See it as an investment. You heard the breakdown. You're basically paying a fifth of what you would pay out here to acquire a house in another country. See it as an investment. Get the house in another country. That's not an asset to you.
Yeah.
You could then make money from that.
Legit.
You could even buy more houses. Then you could buy a house out here.
Legit.
That's, you know what I mean? If you set it up right and you got the money accordingly,
Bro,
treat it as such. But
honestly, you really just have to sit down, plan this shit out as if you're playing chess. Like, think about it. Like analyze everything, do your research, and
for sure,
truthfully, you can make this thing work. Just don't be closed-minded when you're thinking about it, because just like you said, to be honest, you buy another property somewhere else, renting it out, do Airbnb. Meanwhile, you could still be renting here, but at least you have some extra income coming in.
Yeah, for sure. It's all to do with how you set it up, honestly. But in terms of real estate, I know we as millennials is a big question mark right now. It's a big question mark unless you sitting on some good money. You know what I mean? At the same time, you don't want to buy any and every property.
That's the thing, especially at the price that they're going. Like, I feel like even if I had the money, bro, like, because I know I'm looking at a few houses. I know like 3 years or 4 years ago they would be going for like 500 grand.
Yeah.
And now you want to tell me it's $1 million? I'm like, I would rather wait. Even if I had the money, I would wait a little bit, because it's crazy, man. I don't know. Because you see, just like you're saying, in Texas, if I can get a mansion for 300 grand, and I'm gonna spend $1 million here for like a 2-bedroom, I'm like, fuck it, man. Like, I'd rather go to Texas and make it what it is.
But that like, the thing is, if you buy a house in Texas, there's still other things to consider. People may consider, but what am I gonna do out there in terms of work? What am I gonna do out there in terms of work? Different types of questions. So all these things, all this is research you gotta do first.
True.
If you're a trader or a stockbroker, you know what I mean. If you're somebody who just need a laptop, you're good.
Or if you
can
work,
function at home. You just need Wi-Fi.
If you
just
work
need a
from
long
home,
internet service.
Yeah.
But if you literally gotta go and restructure your whole life, like find a fresh job, then you gotta like kind of do some research first to see if it's a feasible move. You know what I mean? Because Texas is a big place as well.
Yeah. Or before you make the move, just go out there first on like a weekend vacation and like just explore, look around, and ask around.
Yeah, just hit up a realtor, and you could probably go to a few viewings, just so you get a feel of what I am talking about.
Right.
Or you can even go on Instagram right now, type in Texas homes or realty groups in Texas, or even Google it. Just check out a few of them and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Legit.
Some beautiful, beautiful homes.
I'm gonna look it up, man.
Yeah.
Texas, eh? Dang.
So if you see me, if you don't see me,
Next episode, if I'm out here filming by myself, my man's going to Texas.
Texas.
Oh man. We might both make the decision of moving over there.
telling you.
What's those guys' name again? The Island Boys. I'm an island boy.
Oh, shit.
Try to make it.
You too wet, boys. Yo,
These guys are so funny.
internet never fails.
Legit. Yeah,
Never
we
fails.
just try to make it too, man. Gonna be like,
For
we're
real,
the
for
road
real.
talk boys. We just trying to make it. In Texas. Next episode coming soon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Legit.
But yeah,
But-
guys.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that thing I'm telling you, when you think about this whole buying your property, man, it can stress you out.
Yeah.
It can stress you out for sure, but
I don't know what else to speak on this topic right now.
it helps. It helps when you have someone else who's on the same page as you. If it's your partner, your girlfriend, boyfriend, it's even better. If as long as you guys get along and have like a one goal in mind, then it's even easier. If
Yeah.
you don't, having that friend or relative that you can partner up or like work on that, it makes things easy too. So for sure.
Just set out some goals.
Legit.
Do it brick by brick, day at a time.
Yeah, man. But just be
Yeah,
realistic, man. Don't let the peer pressure. Don't get peer pressured, because getting your first property as $1 million. I mean, at $1 million, and let's say your mortgage. I mean, your income is only like 40, 50 grand. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna
Yeah.
be tough. Like if even if you have the
Especially when
deposit,
you pre-approve route with the
The-
bank.
bro. Even if the bank was to pre-approve you with like, I don't know, with
600,000.
a cosigner or whatever it is, it's gonna hit you somewhere else. Like you're gonna pay for that.
Yeah, just aim to make like if
Mm-hmm.
you can make if it's you and another person, if you can make say 50,000 each person,
Mm-hmm.
then step to the bank.
Yeah, that's even better.
That'll help you in
Legit.
terms of pre-approval,
Legit.
right? Look
Yeah.
at it that way. The more you and your partner, you know,
Or that
whoever
other
you're
person.
doing the mortgage with is making,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, that's better. Pre-approve and yeah, good deposit. Sorry, down payment.
Yeah.
Either term works. A good down payment, and you go from there.
Yeah.
Make sure you talk about it. Make sure you get the best rate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, make sure there's rate options. So do your research. Check the options. I even put some links below just so you get an example on what I'm talking about. Because interest rates matter. Interest rates, taxes, and interest rates. I always say are some of the most dangerous things
Mhm.
in the world. You gotta pay attention to it. So
Yep.
make sure you get a good interest rate, and yeah, just go from there.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I like what you said a lot. Like with the renting, if you buy a house, renting the lower level,
Yeah,
that's really dope.
and if you look at it this way, if you don't need all the space on the upper level,
Mm-hmm.
flip it. You live downstairs in the basement, and you can rent out the top.
Yeah, especially
If there might be somebody out there willing to rent two
Mhm.
floors. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody just wants to rent like an apartment. Somebody might be willing, you know, I need the space.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay you monthly to rent your 2 upper floors.
Legit.
And then on the mortgage, there's more profit for you. Because you don't have to rent the upper 2 floors
Mhm.
for more than you would have rented the basement for.
That's the thing.
More money for you.
Or even like if you and your boys, both of you guys are renting and you guys have a decent like income or decent job, whatever, just come together, buy a house. Either both of you guys are living downstairs, like 2 bedrooms, and then rent the upstairs, or vice versa. If your other boy have a
Investment.
different lifestyle, you know, he lives upstairs, you live downstairs, but at the end of the day, you guys are both contributing towards your own houses, right?
Mhm.
And then later on, once you guys make some more, y'all move to your own
Correct,
properties,
correct.
sell this one fully. I mean, rent this one out fully, and
Yeah.
easy things like that. Cause
'Cause you could get equity on the house
Mhm.
that you guys bought.
legit,
Go to the bank again.
yeah, put that
Get
towards
equity,
another.
you know what I mean? Get equity on that house.
Mhm.
Get another loan for another house. And go
Yeah.
again. Repeat.
Yeah, just
And-
gotta have a system, man.
Yep. And then you'll start to see the way it makes sense, the dollar signs. Yeah.
But the thing is, you really just gotta find that one person who you can trust,
Mhm.
and who, you know, like you guys are like family. You know, like whatever comes
Yeah.
between you guys. At
That's
the end
the
of the
thing.
day, it's like, yo, relationships do have their hurdles, but at the end of the day, you guys talk it, whatever. But
Yeah.
business,
Friendships is one thing.
yeah,
Business
business is
another
a different
so
thing. But
you trust it. Your trust process is different. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? When money is involved,
mm-hmm.
there's a crazy world out there.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make your wise decisions and go from there.
for sure.
Yeah,
But-
peoples.
Yeah, man. Or even if it has to be 6 of you. Well, nah, 6 of you guys would be too much.
Yeah, I think the
But-
bank. The thing is with the bank, if that was the case, I think the bank normally
you don't have, like,
approves.
One cosigner,
Two.
right?
Yeah, like so one cosigner, which is basically 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that was the case, a lot of people would have come together and
Yeah.
bought properties long time.
Trust me.
I mean, there's ways around it, like pooling of funds. So you might pool the funds with one person, but just saying, like, if it was that easily done, people would, always be
Yeah,
coming together
yeah,
to
we-
build. People will come together and buy apartment buildings. You
Legit.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
duplexes
just,
and
yeah,
just make money that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like you could have investors, yeah, got multiple investors,
Mm-hmm.
but in terms of mortgage,
I
think
there
there's
can
a
only be
limit.
2 yeah, there can only be
there's
2
a
names on
limit.
it.
Yeah.
But even the whole idea of investors is not bad. Like if if you know your friend is a trustworthy person, you can have them invest or like I don't know, just give you a few of that down payment and you use it towards it, and then whatever it is that you're planning on doing, either you pay them interest on whatever amount that they would have borrowed you, or every month if you're renting that place, you give them their cut, but until you pay it off.
Yeah.
But honestly, man, you just got to do the math. Try, and trial and errors. Do the math. Think of multiple ways of, making it work.
For sure.
But it is possible, man. It is possible.
no,
Relocation is a
possible.
big thing. I feel like what's hard is like once you live in an area. Like for me, being in Toronto right now, I'm like, bro, I don't want to move somewhere else and just start from scratch, you know?
Yeah.
And you just don't know, and you're like, yo, I think I'm just gonna wait and see how it goes. But at the end of the day, we all have to start from somewhere. So
I definitely not scared to relocate.
Yeah.
I am from Canada, so that was a relocation in itself.
true,
But
true.
you know what I mean, it's just the more responsibilities you get, that's
It's
when
harder, yeah.
You'll
It's
bear
harder to
money,
make that
bear money.
Decision, absolutely.
If you're just solo, then yeah, it's an easy decision. But yeah, once other people involved, you gotta be a bit more reasonable and rational in making those kind of decisions. But once you're able to break it down, show where it makes sense, that's for each person. You gotta make it make sense for you. So
Yep.
that's it.
Yeah, man, that's all we had to share on that. If you know anything more, or if you have something to share, just write it down in the comment box, or
If you're waiting on that market crash in a couple years, if it's to happen, then
yo, we're also waiting. If
save
you-
until then.
legit.
Stack it
bro.
up. Stack
Save,
it up.
but make your savings work for you too. Like
At the
there's the
same time.
stocks or there's the Again, like I said, if you get the pre-constructions, you don't have to move in. You can actually just buy it with the intention of selling it once it,
It's completed.
or even once it reaches like it earns a little bit more. But because at the end of the day, that contract you bought at 600,000 for 2026, I bet you once we get close to that time, they're gonna even the builder themselves, they're gonna start selling those properties for like 800,000, so like 700,000. That's when you come in and like, yo, you sell your contract and you make a good $100,000 profit, So
Yeah.
you could do that too, but just save, but make sure that saving is earning some sort of interest.
Yeah.
But
You know what a lot of people do here? They come together as a group, as we were just speaking on investors. They do it around the world. Come together as a group. You know what I mean? Maybe 5 people. So if the property is 500,000, you put in 100,000.
Oh,
and then
okay.
people put in
I see.
100,000.
Okay,
Then y'all renovate it for 200,000,
I get you.
and then you sell it for $1 million,
and then you
and
split
then you
that
split
amongst.
the 300,000 5 ways.
Yeah.
So then each person profit.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it comes
So-
down to the trust. Yeah, if you can
Yeah.
find a group of people you can actually trust, and who's gonna have that money when the time comes,
So
bro, go for it.
$60,000 profit. you know what I mean, that you didn't have before.
That's the thing.
Because you invest.
Yeah.
You basically invest the initial 100,000 plus your renovations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you profit after renovations, after selling, you profit 60 grand.
Easily.
You know, that's another way. And then that 60 grand you could use to
Mm-hmm.
go in another investment and then profit
For sure.
some more. Because you still get back your initial investment, which was the 100,000
Plus that 60.
plus the
extra.
60, plus the 60,
Mm-hmm.
plus whatever percentage of renovations you put in.
Mm-hmm.
So then you could go again, bigger properties,
Legit.
more money, bigger properties, more
Yeah.
profit. You know, providing everything sells at profit.
Yeah, and if you're gonna do that, truthfully, you don't even have to start for you can look for like beat down houses.
Yeah, like
And
that
just-
relocation.
Yeah,
Go to
beat down houses and renovate
Atlanta,
that.
go to somewhere that, you know, properties
Mhm.
reasonable. You know, it doesn't have to be Canada or Toronto.
Yeah, just renovate it a little bit and then sell it for more.
We need if you're doing it as a group, you need a group that is down, willing, trustful.
Yeah, a strong group, people that are
Yeah.
doing their own, you know.
Yeah, it could be
Part.
3 people. It don't have to be 5. It could be you and 2 other people that,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
could really run with. You know?
For sure.
But yeah. That's
Yeah.
my 2 cents again on this topic.
Yes, sir. So, you know who it is. It's us boys. Yeah, man. That's all we had to say. Hopefully, you guys were able to, or hopefully that was able to spark something in your,
Life.
decisions.
Your
Yeah, in your
decisions,
decisions, and yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see on the other side.
Yep.
Yeah, bro.
Peace.
Peace out.